In the end, standing on ancient Mars a billion years ago feels like witnessing a masterpiece in motion, a world balanced between creation and collapse, between what it was and what it might have become. You walked through glowing pools of alien life, saw rivers and lakes shimmer under a young sun, and watched mighty volcanoes ignite the sky with fire and lightning. You experienced a planet that breathed, changed, and fought to stay alive. Yet beneath all its beauty and power lay a quiet fragility, a warning whispered through its cooling core and thinning air. Mars was a world rich with possibility, a world that almost became a second Earth, vibrant, warm, and filled with the seeds of life. But time, cosmic forces, and a failing magnetic shield slowly stripped it of its oceans, its atmosphere, and its dream. What remains today is only the silent shadow of that ancient paradise, buried beneath dust, ice, and memory. And as you look back on everything you saw and felt, you understand the deeper truth. Mars reminds us that even entire planets can change, fade, or fall. Its story is not just a tale of what was lost, but a powerful message about how rare and precious living worlds truly are. Mars teaches us to cherish our own fragile Earth, because once, long ago, the red planet was alive too, and its heartbeat still echoes faintly across the universe. Imagine if you lived on Mars a billion years ago, at a time when the planet was nothing like the cold, dusty desert we see today. Back then, Mars was alive with water, storms, clouds, and perhaps even the earliest forms of life. Picture yourself waking up to a softer, cooler sunlight, a sun that looks smaller than it does from Earth, but still bright enough to paint the Martian sky with a copper-blue glow. You step outside your primitive stone shelter and find yourself facing a vast valley stretching for thousands of kilometers, carved by a massive river that flows steadily across the landscape. This river feeds wide lakes scattered across the northern plains, sparkling under the thin but heavier atmosphere Mars once had. An atmosphere capable of creating thick clouds, rolling storms, and fierce winds. In the distance, the great volcano Olympus Mons towers above everything, not silent as it is today, but alive, erupting with fire, ash, and lava that glow red against the night sky. The reflections dance on the surfaces of the ancient lakes, making the world look as if it's wrapped in a shimmering veil of fire and water. Around you, life is simple and microscopic, thriving in hot springs, mineral pools, and along the edges of Martian seas. Though tiny and fragile, this life hints that the planet was on the verge of becoming something greater, almost like a second Earth, before time and a weakening magnetic field stripped it of its oceans and air. As you walk across the soft red soil, you feel that every step tells the story of a world that once breathed. The long Martian day slowly shifts into evening, and the sunset unfolds in breathtaking waves of color, blue, pink, then deep red, lasting far longer than on Earth. When night finally arrives, temperatures drop sharply. You hear the rocks crackle from the cold, reminding you that this beautiful world is also unforgiving. Yet, in these quiet moments, as the stars shimmer above the thin atmosphere, you realize you are living through the golden age of a planet that could have become humanity's twin home. This vision, stretched across what would take about 15 minutes to describe, leaves you with the sense that Mars, a billion years ago, was not just a planet, but a dream world, alive, vibrant, and full of possibilities long lost beneath the frozen red sands. As the Martian night deepens, you sense that the world around you is changing in ways your eyes can't fully see. The winds soften, carrying a faint warmth rising from underground vents, remnants of the planet's inner fire. Curious, you follow the gentle heat until you reach a cluster of steaming pools glowing faintly under the starlight. Their surfaces ripple with shimmering colors like liquid gemstones. These pools are alive with microbial colonies, tiny but extraordinary organisms that glow softly when disturbed, turning the water into a swirl of blue and green light. You dip your hand into the warm surface, and the glow dances around your fingertips, as if the planet itself is greeting you. As you continue exploring, you find strange rock formations shaped like spirals and domes, created by ancient life forms building delicate mineral structures over millions of years. They look like fossils of coral reefs, but alien, curved, branching, and twisted in ways that defy Earth's biology. You begin to realize something incredible. Mars wasn't just alive, it was creative. Its early life was experimenting, evolving, building its own identity. Suddenly, the ground trembles beneath your feet. In the distance, Olympus Mons releases a deep, rumbling roar as a new eruption starts. Rivers of glowing lava flow down its slopes, illuminating the horizon like a second rising sun. The sky becomes a dramatic mix of ash clouds and shimmering light, a chaotic yet mesmerizing dance between destruction and creation. The heat from the eruption creates towering thunderclouds that crackle with violet lightning, storms unlike anything seen on Earth. You take shelter near a rocky ridge as the winds shift, carrying the smell of minerals and charged particles. Yet, even in the chaos, you notice something remarkable. Life doesn't retreat, it adapts. In the shallow waters near you, microbial mats curl tighter, protecting themselves from the incoming ash, while others spread into new streams created by melting ice. Mars, a billion years ago, is a world constantly reinventing itself. Hours pass, and the storm slowly calms. The ash settles like fine snow, covering the landscape in a silver layer. When the first light of the next Martian morning touches the horizon, it turns the ash to gold. You stand before a world renewed, glittering, quiet, and strangely peaceful. The lakes reflect the morning sky in hues of pale blue and rose. The air is cool but fresh, carrying the scent of wet minerals and forgotten oceans. As you look around, you realize you're witnessing a planet writing its own story, one of fire and water, life and silence, hope and loss. Mars was once a world full of promise, a world that could have been a second cradle of life. And in that moment, standing on the ancient red soil, you feel the weight of billions of years pressing forward and backward in time, reminding you that even planets have dreams, and that Mars, once upon a time, dreamed of becoming a world like Earth. If you want, I can continue with another chapter, perhaps the moment Mars begins to lose its atmosphere or a dramatic event that changes the planet's fate.